Yes, so today we will speak about Ukrainian environmental movement activism during Russian war, and because it's a bit changed during war activities of Ukrainian CSOs and NGOs. And I want to warn you that I only will give you a few examples of organizations today, but there are much more active organizations and campaigns and national and local organizations, because I thought that we will have not so much time, and but I am going to add probably additional slide with many other NGOs, with websites, maybe even social media, so you can see, you can join, you can spread it. Yeah, so Ukrainian environmental movement during war. As I told you, many organizations, they moved their activities and offices to other regions or even countries, because maybe not to other countries, but to other regions for sure, because there were some organizations, you know, from eastern part of Ukraine, from Donetsk Oblast, from Luhansk Oblast, from Kharkiv Oblast, directly from Kharkiv, Sumy, Chernihiv, southern part of Ukraine, Kherson, Mykolaiv. So they moved to other regions of Ukraine. They moved to other countries sometimes. For example, I know one organization from Mykolaiv. They moved to abroad because it was not possible to live in the first months of war in Mykolaiv. And I remember that when there was this first months of invasion, you know, we were supported each other. So we supported, for example, some our colleagues from Lviv. They invited colleagues from other regions. They gave people home and help with relocation, with support, gave some support with offices, etc., etc. So it was quite. I think it was quite supportive environment in that hard times. Also, some organizations, I would say most of organizations, they changed a bit their activities. For example, if organizations were very active offline, but during war they started to organize more online actions, online campaigns, digital online like different webinars, online trainings. You know, we adapted to this reality even during COVID, but and we started to enjoy again offline events in 2021, beginning of 2022, but then again we just go back to that COVID reality, online reality. For example, some organizations, they added different new fields of work or different new projects related to war issues, related to war conditions, like I don't know, debris management or food security, for example. I would tell more about Ecoltava because we add additional field of work, program work related to food security. I will tell about it more. So also many organizations started to be focused on documenting environmental crimes, because it is a very important topic. As I told you on our previous lecture, that we have a lot of damages, like billions and billions, even it's trillions of hryvnias. And billions of US dollars. Yes, so it's a huge number of money. But for example, to claim in Hague, or I don't know, in different courts, international courts, to claim for Russian responsibility, yes, with money. We should have documented crime, environmental crime. We should have evidences. So this is on what some organizations are focused now. Yeah, as I told, some of organizations, they add new areas of work. By the way, also energy independence. As you know, as I faced it last days, it's not the blackouts, but electricity shortages, and it's sometimes it's absolutely unpredictable because your schedule shows that there will be no electricity for 2 hours, but then there will be no electricity for 4 hours, and you should adapt somehow. So many, and if for ordinary people it's okay, for hospitals or schools it's not okay, because they should always have electricity. So some organizations, they are focused on helping critical infrastructure with energy supply, for example, solar panels. I will tell you more about it as well. Yes. Oh, sorry. So yeah, this is like what we are focused now during war, documenting environmental crimes. For example, Poltava is not working with these issues. We have no capacity and experts for this, but I know other organizations from other regions, they are working, they are helping the Ministry of Environment and Natural Protection of Ukraine with this. I think Environmental People Law, I think EcoSense, maybe Save Dnipro. I'm not sure, but probably they are working with these issues. Raising of public awareness. It was something what we were working a lot even before a full-scale invasion, but now it's maybe, I don't know, just moved a bit to another topics. And there is like problems with mines, I mean, mines, demining, and mines danger. So some organizations, they are also working with people, with citizens on awareness raising with this also problem. So it's not only environmental one, yes, but somehow related to this. Yeah, so there are many seminars, webinars now. For example, informational campaigns in social media, sometimes even this, how it's like outside advertisement, billboards, etc., with different social advertisement, environmental one. For example, some organizations are working a lot with local governments, because local governments, as I told you in our also previous lecture, that they are overwhelmed. They have lack of people as well. They need support. They need, and many people were mobilized to army, and new people came to local governments, and they need fresh knowledge about environmental protection, climate change, energy efficiency. So one of the main focuses now of Ukrainian organizations to help local governments with this, to get this knowledge. And many projects are about this. Restoring natural areas. Oh yes, there is wonderful organization. It's called, oh my God, I forgot the name, but for example, Forest and Society. This is Dmytro Karabchuk. He was one of he was nominated to one of laureates of Light of Justice Award, Ukrainian Catholic University. And they are working a lot with forestation, about protection of forests, and many local activists and local organizations, they are working with restoring natural areas, for example, together with natural parks or natural protection areas, administrations of these areas. Yes, and as I told, supporting local communities, this is also important part, because war is ongoing, but environmental issues are not waiting as well. And one of the most important topics now is and in previous areas there is also debris management, because we have huge problem with debris. Many buildings, many industry sites are damaged, and people do not know what to do with, didn't know, and now still a lot of people do not know what to do, how to manage all of this waste, all of this debris. So some organizations, they are working with awareness raising in this area, and also with consulting of local administrations on these issues, how to manage in a better way debris, how to separate it, how to find opportunities to recycle, because it's different recycling. Also, very important part is European integration. Thank God, now we are finally in the process of like negotiations about European integration of Ukraine had started just in June, I think. Yeah, this agenda was opened. But before we knew that we will start this process soon, and we need to harmonize Ukrainian environmental legislation to European legislation, to European directives, environmental directives. So there is a big field of work in this area, especially for researchers, especially for policymakers, for advocacy, etc., etc. Even for awareness raising, because we should somehow we should give our citizens information about how it will be to them to follow environmental legislation when we will join you. It's very important. Oh, sorry. So this is actually, this is a list, not table of contents. I just took six organizations, and also sixth one I changed in last moment. So this is, as I told, there are many. For example, we have Ukrainian Climate Network, and there are 30 plus organizations in this network, only in one network. And there are also some another environmental networks. So it's just, 6 examples you can hear, you can follow, you can join. First organization is Poltava. It's an organization where I'm co-founder and a director. We have office in Poltava, where currently I'm sitting. And but we're also working in all Ukraine with many communities in different Ukrainian regions. So it's an independent association of experts and environmentalists. We were founded in 2013 officially, non-official in 2012. So we celebrated 10 years last year, and this year it will be 11. Mostly we are working a lot with communities. We're helping them to implement environmental solutions, to become more eco-friendly, to develop local environmental policies, and with awareness raising of citizens, so with local informational campaigns, where we are specifying a lot on informational campaigns. We have quite strong creative part of team. We have also professional environmentalists, environmental experts. But for different projects, we're inviting different people, like cooperating with different experts who are not working constantly in the organization, but they're joining from time to time. It's actually quite often Ukrainian NGOs practicing this, have this practice. So we are working mostly with waste management. We help communities to implement waste management solutions and to plan them and to communicate them also to citizens. We are working with climate adaptation. For example, with green zones in cities. Currently, we are planning new campaign in this area also. With awareness raising and energy independence, now it's quite less. We have not so focused on this area, but hopefully we will come back to this again. It was more in focus a few years ago. Food security, because when war had started, we realized that some people in many regions, many people actually in many regions, they have no access to seeds, but they have land where they can grow their own food. Sometimes they have no access to normal shops, and there were problems with delivery in that times. So we decided to start a project like to send people seeds. It was a springtime, so we sent people seeds, and they grown it in ecological way. So they grown their own food. Oh my God, we got so much positive feedback and appreciation from people. Really, they sent us photos. They sent us photos of. This is more about this project. It's called Posady. Posady, it's how to translate it. Seeded, something like this. Yeah, seeded. Yeah, we helped more than 3,000 people, no more, even more than 5,000 people probably during 2 years. This year, unfortunately, we were forced to stop this project because there was not enough funding for this. But I don't know, there is still a demand, unfortunately, for this project because some people are from the frontline communities. Some people, they have quite a hard economical situation and they cannot afford the food and seeds. So it would be great, of course, to continue it. Also, we were working more with movement building before war. Now, last 2 years, it was hard to work with this topic. But honestly, this is one of my favorite topics. I can say that I'm specifying on mentoring new activists, raising new activists. So I would be glad to come back to this topic and to organize more trainings, camps, mentoring campaigns for new, especially local activists, as we do need a lot of local activists, because I think it's a central part of democracy, and we are a democratic country. We are very much connected with all of these principles of freedom, self-governance, rule of law, and for this purpose we need more activists, we need more local organizations. NGO Eco Action, it's one of the biggest Ukrainian NGOs. They're working in Kiev and all Ukraine. They're also working a lot with international organizations. As I know, they're part of different networks like Climate Action Network and other one in Europe. This is when you will get this presentation, there will be some links to this organization's websites. So this is a big organization, really. They have probably maybe 40 or now maybe even 50 people in staff. It's a quite young organization. Maybe 6 years old. They are 6 years old. Yeah, but they are very, very progressive. They're working a lot with energy efficiency, renewable energy, climate adaptation, clean air, sustainable transportation, sustainable agriculture in Ukraine. So they have different projects. They have different departments. As I told, it's really big organization. They are very progressive, and I would definitely recommend you later to join them because they have also quite developed system of working with volunteers. So you can become their volunteer and join their campaigns. They are also working a lot with It's not a political campaigns, but advocacy to change, for example, legislation or some climate policies or other environmental policies. NGO Eco Club, they're working in Ryuvny, it's western part of Ukraine, and all Ukraine. It's also another big organization. They have maybe 20, maybe 25 people and stuff. And they are working, they are focused, they specified on energy efficiency, energy independence, renewable energy. For example, now their famous project is about installing solar power plants on hospitals in Ukraine, and I think kindergartens and schools. I don't even count it how many solar PV systems they already installed, and how many grateful communities they have they have in their list. Really, it's really powerful because now many hospitals and schools, they have electricity almost all the time, even during shortages. Yeah, and they have now active campaign. You can donate and help critical infrastructure to work autonomously. You can donate, you can provide equipment, you can become an information partner. I know that they are participating in different international events and trying to raise more funds for these projects. And I know that now they're supporting a lot with European Union. Also, they have some big grants from European Union. So it's really this organization they are like friends for us. We are working a lot with them, and we have had many partnerships before. Now it's not so, we are not cooperating so closely, but I hope in future we will come back to this. And they are working a lot with communities also. They have big list of communities, dozens and dozens with which they are working. Environmental People Law. It's organization based in Lviv. It's one of the oldest Ukrainian organizations. It's charitable foundation. It's not an NGO, but charitable foundation. And mostly lawyers are working in this organization. So as their focus, they're specified on like environmental justice, different litigation, environmental litigations, mostly not, sometimes in Ukrainian courts, but also sometimes in European courts. They are really strong. They have strong lawyers. They are working a lot with legislation, like drafting legal acts, drafting policy notes, drafting analytics. So a lot of mostly campaigning NGOs. They're taking information from EPL and spreading it, or somehow installed it to their own activities and campaigns. Yeah, they have a lot of publications. You can visit their site and check. I'm sure that you will find something relevant for your for field of work or field of interest. Yeah, they are working a lot with conservation and restoration issues, like environmental impact assessment. I think that lawyers of EPL, they were even developed this legislation on environmental impact assessment, or somehow they were related to this, to drafting this legislation. And yeah, they are like watchdogs of different hard cases. Like, for example, there is still a case of when we have very beautiful mountain, Svidovets in Carpathian Mountains, and some oligarchs. They wanted to build a resort there, ski resort or something like this. It was absolutely not relevant to this area. It's a Emerald Network area. It's a natural protected area with old forests, very rare forests and species. So EPL and other organizations from that region, like from Uzhhorod, Ecosfera, and some just local activists, they started a powerful campaign. I also will send you this campaign in the list. You can join, because now they are working a lot with different international organizations, because still this part of mountain is still in danger, and it's really one of the beautiful, most beautiful in Ukrainian Carpathian. Yes, what else? One moment. Yes, so Ukrainian Climate Network, as I told, it's a network, the biggest network work and the oldest one of climate organizations. I think also it's more than 20 years old. You know, it's really more than 20 years old. I am in board of this network. There are 4 or 5 people from different organizations, from different Ukrainian organizations. And mostly this network is, you know, it's a platform of joint campaigns, for example, joint campaigns, joint advocacy for some legislative changes, or for some, I don't know, for example, when war had started for full-scale invasion, or we made so many joint statements in Ukrainian and English. We spread it with our partners among European and global communities and NGOs. So it's mostly like platform of cooperation of different organizations, stronger ones, you know, less visible and powerful maybe. So they can share experience, they can share opinions, they can share, sometimes organizations coming together and make joint projects, so they fundraise together. It's also a nice point. And also we are following COP, UNFCCC, this climate conference. So usually, I think every year, since I remember myself in activism, every year someone from Ukrainian Climate Network was attending COP and like making some advocacy and observing COP. We're drafting different policy notes and like informational newsletters from COP, like with civil language, with easy language to ordinary people. Yeah, so it's a big network. You mostly, for example, foreign journalists, foreign experts, they are coming with their questions or ideas of projects to this network also, quite often, I would say. And I wanted to tell about Plato, because it's really very interesting NGO from Lviv. They are working with nature-based solutions. It's a quite popular topic now. I don't know how many of you have heard about nature-based solutions for cities, but I just will add you a link to this NGO, because maybe you would like to join them. I think they just have no English version of their website. So I decided to tell you about Razum We Stand, because it's one of the most powerful Ukrainian NGOs, and in the same time one of the youngest one, because founder of this organization, she was my previous I was working to, maybe, I don't know, have you heard about 350.org? It's a huge climate movement, global one. So there was an office here in Eastern Europe, Caucasus, and Central Asia. And together with Svetlana Romanko, she is one of the founders of this Razum We Stand. We worked at 350. And then when war, full-scale invasion has started, you know, I remember like maybe first week of this, yeah, first days even, we were chatting, messaging each other, and started to organize a call and talk to each other what we can do now, how can we spread information, which demands we can, which call to actions we can make at global level, at European level, for politicians, for citizens. So this is how this idea arose in Svetlana's mind, and she co-established this NGO Razom We Stand. From the beginning, it was just campaign, but then they registered. And it's really, they have powerful donors now. They have a lot of partners from Europe, from United States, from Japan, from other countries. And yesterday, I just read the news that, you know, during these 2 years, all of this like websites, digital campaigns reached like maybe 5 billion or 8 billion of people of views. Yes. So this is Ukrainian organization. They're active international and calling for a total and permanent embargo on Russian fossil fuels. You know, very direct demand. Stop buying Russian fossil fuels, because Russian economy is getting money from revenue from oil and gas mostly. It's based on fossil fuels, based on oil and gas. So this organization calling to global community, global politicians, G7, like G7, even European Union governments, prime minister, presidents, to end buying Russian fossil fuels and to stop all investments into Russian oil and gas companies. And I would say that maybe I'm sure that some news you have read during past 2 years, they were related to advocacy of this organization. You know, some sanctions, they're working a lot with sanctions. So I would say it's really powerful work. As I understand, we have not so many time. So I probably will say more. How can you join? How can you participate in this? Which support Ukrainian organizations need, where you can be helpful and you can feel yourself important and needed? Of course, it's volunteer opportunities. A lot of organizations, especially this I told you, like Eco Action, Eco Club, Environmental People Law, they have opportunities for volunteering. You can join them, you can write them, I don't know, on Facebook or to their emails, and you can tell that, hi, I am this and this from this country, I want to be your volunteer. I can help you with this and this. I have this and this skills. So you can join some organizations as volunteer. Maybe you can, you know, even if you will spread news, if you will spread call to actions, some campaign calls, it will be really great help, especially for international community, because, you know, when attention to Ukraine is not so high as in the first year of full-scale invasion, but there is not less problems and issues and damages. We still need, unfortunately, but we need a lot of support and attention. Internships and fellowships. I think also it's not, I think I remember that there were some opportunities at this Ukrainian big organizations, and also sometimes different charitable foundations and donors, they have also programs when you can find some organization in Ukraine and just be an intern in this organization. Educational programs and workshops. You can try to organize yourself, not yourself, but maybe with your colleagues, something from your organization to Ukrainian activists, or you can You can just participate in some educational events, workshops, which are organized by our NGOs. Research collaboration. As I told you, we need to do a lot of researches in different topics now, and it needs capacity, not only in money, but also people, experts, analytics, I don't know, designers, writers, copywriters, editors, etc., etc. So this is what you can do if you have the skills. Advocacy and campaigns. For sure, if you have an idea of campaign, and if you have some, I don't know, you know where you can get some resources, or you just need partner in Ukraine, you can try to do it. You can write some organizations and propose this, or you can join already existing campaigns also. Also, very simple action you can do right today. It's joining online communities. Almost all Ukrainian organizations, they have social media pages. You can join them, just follow on Facebook, X, or I don't know, Instagram, or whatever you are active in, or maybe just newsfeed. A lot of organizations, they have newsfeed. You can join this newsfeed and follow news, and maybe in 1 week or 1 month you will see something relevant to you, some event or some opportunity you want to join. Yes. And of course, fundraising. Now, as I told you, some of organizations, they are raising funds for, I don't know, even program activities, because it's quite hard for some organizations. It's quite hard to find money for activities now, because you know, there are so much needs in Ukraine. Even sanitation, sanitation needs, or I don't know, also food security or medical issues. So there is not enough money sometimes for local organizations for their program activities. So if you know how to write project proposals, I think that a lot of organizations would be happy if you can help them with this. Or maybe you can start your GoFund campaign, small one, for $100 or euros, and donate it to some organizations you want to follow, you want to support. So from my point of view, this list, also, no, it's not full actually. You can write articles, you can make an interview with some activist organization and share it among your community in your country. You can invite people from your community to join also some social media pages of organizations. Even small step could be really big support. Each small step matters in our case, really. Each step matters, because in these times we have now, you know, even when we get comments from people from other countries, foreigners, oh guys, you are awesome, you are still keep going, yes, you are doing all of these projects, you are doing all of these campaigns, you are great, we are supporting you. You know, it gives power to us. So even this small actions, just words, but also you can do something bigger. Yeah, I think I will stop on this, and maybe you can. Yes, this is from one biggest climate march in Ukraine. I think it was 2000. No, it's not from that one. There was bigger one. Once we had 3,000 people in 2019. Yeah, it was nice times.